right now, what I want to discuss is how I'm going to edit this novel. Now, I've never edited a novel before because I've never completed a novel before. So this is going to be a first time experience for me, and I'm going to record my process. So, my approach. I think I'm going to do basically 5 to 6 edits. I know that sounds like a lot, but hear me out. For each of these edits, I'm going to focus on something specific. So the first one, I'm going to try and fill in any plot holes that I find, or any parts that I didn't quite like. Maybe I'll try to find a way to rewrite those and make the story flow a little bit better. So that's going to be edit 1. Edit 2, I want to really focus on the characters, each individual, and then maybe the groupings that there are, and especially about like the character relationships and how the characters are actually portrayed. So it's literally just going to be a deep dive into character development. Because I know already that there are some character relationships that I really want to expand on, some that I feel fall a little flat from my first draft version, so I know that I want to redo these. So that'll be 2. Now for number 3, since my novel is very heavy in folklore influence, I want to go through and really do my research. I really want to make sure that I'm going through making it as richly informative and diverse in terms of the folklore within it as humanly possible. I do believe that I'm going to hire an actual editor at some point, but I also know that for this particular novel, I've always wanted to do a little bit more of the traditional path. It's not something that I necessarily want to self-publish, and the reason why is because I want to get it published professionally so that way I can understand the process. It's something I've never gone through, this is something that I really want to do well with, and I feel like reaching out and trying to get it professionally done is the right move for somebody who's never published at all before. So I feel pretty confident in that decision. If you have a difference of opinion, leave a comment and let me know, but honestly I feel pretty solid in it. Because I know you can go self-publishing, but I don't know anything about it. So, and it's not necessarily something I want to learn on my own. Sometimes I feel like it's better to take the route of asking for help. But if you disagree, again, let me know, explain, and we'll proceed from there. Edit number 4. So that one, I want it to be specifically about each individual scene and the dialogue there within. Basically, if it feels like it's a scene that doesn't need dialogue, or I need to clean up that dialogue, I'm gonna try and do that as I go. But mostly I want to make sure all of the scenes flow together really well, and then I also want to make sure that the dialogue does as well. Number 5. I really want to focus on the tone and the imagery. So I really want to make sure that the tone matches the vibe of the book. Basically, this is where you really start to understand how the author wants you to feel. If it's a book that's supposed to have like a moody undertone, this is where I really want to play at that and make sure that that's where I'm getting that tone and I'm getting that vibe to come through, and if it's not working, figure out how I can kind of fix that. At the same time, imagery does play a huge role in your tone, so I really want to focus on the images that I'm portraying and how that builds that tone in the background. And then number 6, the last edit that I want to do is basically for proofreading context. I'm not worried about spelling and grammar at any point until this. Now, if I happen to stumble across some things, yeah, I'll fix it as I go. But ultimately, that's not going to be my focus in any of the other edits. This last edit will be strictly for proofreading. And I feel like that's a pretty good approach to take, especially with this kind of novel. But I feel like that's a pretty solid approach to taking with this kind of novel. Because the novel is 14 chapters long currently, and I'm gonna aim for about a week and a half to 2 weeks per edit, so I feel like that's fairly doable. I know I'm probably biting off a little bit more than I can chew with certain parts, like especially edit 1 and edit 3, edit 2 as well. 1 through 3 are definitely going to be the heavy hitters, and those might take a little bit longer, but I really want to try and have the editing done within 3 months. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Well, we're taking it one step at a time though. Just wanted to throw that information out there really quick. If you have any editing tips and tricks for someone who's never had to do this before, I'd be way happy to hear them. So if you want to leave them below. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Maybe, maybe not. But until next time, remember, take care of yourself and keep going. Bye.